Hi, I'm Bobby Grunwald and have the privilege of leading the YouVersion team. Today we're celebrating a day called Giving Tuesday. And if you're unfamiliar with Giving Tuesday, it's a global generosity movement. So it's appropriate that today's verse of the day is also about generosity. 2 Corinthians 9:7 says, "Each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver." Let's take a look at the context of this verse. Paul wrote 2 Corinthians to the church in Corinth as a letter of correction. In this letter, he touched on several topics, including the struggling Christians in Jerusalem. They needed financial help, and the church in Corinth had promised to take an offering to send to them. But a year later, when Paul wrote this letter, they still hadn't sent help. The Corinthians were one of the first churches to embrace generosity, and they had an obvious opportunity to give. So why weren't they giving? Well, have you ever noticed that we tend to give our time, our energy, and especially our money to the things that we love the most? The Corinthians loved God, but they needed a reminder that loving God takes action. And not just action, a cheerful action. This verse says God loves a cheerful giver, not a giver who gives under compulsion or obligation, but one who gives because they love God and the people God loves. When you're led by a love for God, you'll start to see lots of opportunities to spread that love through cheerful generosity. But in this particular passage, Paul was telling the Corinthians specifically not to wait to give financially. Today, I invite you to take a look at the way you spend or invest your money and how it reflects what you love. No matter what your income looks like, do your finances reflect the sort of cheerful generosity Paul is talking about? And if not, what do you need to change today to make giving a priority in your life?